Hello, sports fans, and happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to my Thanksgiving edition of Scott Sports 101 NFL football. We have a triple header today to kick off Week 13 of the NFL season, and we'll go over all three games. And if we have time, we'll talk about the Browns. And but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL football Thanksgiving Day trivia question. Who holds the record for the most passing yards in a Thanksgiving game? And I will have the answer later in the podcast. Well, in the early game today, the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions will square off at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, and they are underway right now because they started at 12:30. The Bears are coming off a 5-point win over the Buffalo Bills last week. The Bears will start, Mitch Trubisky will start today's game against the Lions. And the Bears really want to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Bears are in third place right now in the AFC North with a record of 5-6. Now, the Bears have played in many Thanksgiving games, and you can be sure the Bears are going to be out to win this game. But the Lions have been in every Thanksgiving Day game, and many of every Thanksgiving Day game, and they have won and lost many of them. And the Lions are always tough on Thanksgiving Day, and they're going to want to have a good running game, the Bears, and a good pass rush against the Lions, and they're going to want to make some good offensive and defensive adjustments today in this game because the Detroit Lions are always tough on Thanksgiving Day. Meanwhile, the Lions are coming off a 3-point loss to the Washington Redskins last week. The Lions really want to keep their playoff hopes alive as well. The Lions will start David Blah in place of Matt Stafford, who is out with a back injury, and Jeff Driscoll will serve as the backup QB today. Blah will have his hands full today against Bears defense that ranks 4th in points allowed, 17.1, 4th total defense, 315.6, and 9th in pass defense. Now, the Bears have always given the Lions a rough way to go, and I do feel, and I'm going to do my picks in just a moment, but I really feel that the Lions are going to have the edge in this game today, and I'm going with the Lions. I think my brother-in-law is too. I'll find out later and let you know. But I really think that Detroit's going to have the edge in this game with them playing in Detroit today. I don't see the Bears winning this game today at Thanksgiving Day, but it could go either way. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. It could go either way, this game. So we will see what happens today between the Bears and the Lions. And they are already underway right now. I don't know the score as of yet, but they are underway at Ford Field in Detroit. In the late game today, which will kick off at 4:30, the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills will square off at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, or as I like to say, Big D. The Cowboys are 6.5-point favorites to win today's game against the Bills, and you can be sure the Cowboys are really going to give the Bills a big-time challenge in this game today by far, and expect Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott to really have a big game today. And they're going to be doing everything offensively and defensively to win. And and I will say I'm trying to see here in my book here. The Cowboys are coming off a 13-9 loss to the New England Patriots last week, and they struggled offensively and defensively, and they're going to want to bounce back, and they are going to be out to win this game today after a 4-point loss to the Patriots last week. And Dallas is also in a good position to make the playoffs, and I believe that they will. And just expect Dallas to really have a big game today because they have always been tough on Thanksgiving Day as well. Meanwhile, the Bills have a game plan for today's big game against the Cowboys. The big question is Bills QB Josh Allen ready for the national stage on this Thanksgiving Day? And Bills fullback Patrick DeMarco says Allen is not a selfish person, and he's more about let's go out there and win this game today. And I do think that he is, and I think the Bills are going to make adjustments offensively and defensively because they know the Cowboys are tough, have a very tough offense by far, but their defense is not too far behind. They're tough as well. So, and I think that I am going with the Cowboys to win today's game. The Cowboys are favored by 6.5 points. And I forgot to mention for the Lions-Detroit game, Chicago is favored, and Detroit is the underdog. But I'm going with Dallas to win today's game. And trying to see here, the Bills are coming off a 20-3 win over the Denver Broncos last week, and you can be sure that the Bills are going to want to extend their winning streak to 2 games in a row. They're going to do everything they can to win this game today. And I will get to the I really think this is going to come down. It could come down to the wire, and in this game today between the Cowboys and Bills. And I really think, but I feel that Dallas is going to have the edge in this game today by far. Well, I will get to the Thursday night game in just a moment. But it's now time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Thanksgiving Day trivia question. Who holds the record for most pass yards in a Thanksgiving game? And if you said Troy Aikman, you are correct. Troy Aikman threw for 455 yards passing against the Minnesota Vikings on Thanksgiving Day in 1998. And now we have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Right now I'm going to get to the Thursday night game, and in the Thursday night game, wrapping up the triple header, it will be an AFC South rematch. This evening, the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons will square off at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Now the Saints are in a great position heading into Week 13. And the latest NFL playoff picture has the Saints as the number 2 seed in the NFC, which means the Saints would have the first round bye in the playoffs, and you can be sure that Drew Brees and the Saints are going to give the Falcons run for the money today in this game, and they are really going to be really tough on the Falcons today. The big question is, can the Falcons get over the hurdle and win the rematch between the Saints? I'm not so sure because they have been struggling as of late, and the Falcons are coming off a 35-22 loss to the Buccaneers last week at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. And the Saints are coming off a big 3-point win over the Carolina Panthers last week. And for the Falcons, Julio Jones is questionable for today's game with a shoulder injury, so I'm not sure if he's going to be playing in tonight's game. And Falcons, Devontae Freeman is set to return and play in tonight's game against the Saints. And I really think the Falcons are going to be making adjustments offensively and defensively, and they're going to be making adjustments on their plays tonight to really try to win the rematch between the Saints tonight, against the Saints tonight. And the Saints and the Falcons are really want to keep their playoff hopes alive as well. And the Saints, as I said, are in a good position to make the playoffs, and they're going to be out to win this game tonight and extend their winning streak. So you can be sure. I really feel that, and I'm going with the Saints to win this game, and they're favored by 6.5 points. And I feel New Orleans is going to get the win on the road. I just don't see Atlanta winning the rematch, and because I think they're going to have a tough time against the Saints. And I feel the Saints will prevail and get the win in this game tonight. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think these 3 games are going to go in favor of the Lions, Cowboys, and New Orleans. So those are my picks of the week. I will let you know what my brother-in-law took a little bit later, because I'll have a post-game show for both the early and the late game once I get home. And so that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Thanksgiving Day pregame show. And I'll be back with a early and late game NFL Thanksgiving Day post-game show and Thursday Night Football pregame show after I've gotten home from my Thanksgiving Day. So I thank you for watching, and I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family and friends. And I want to take this opportunity to salute on this Thanksgiving Day all the fine men and women who are serving in the armed forces, the Army, the Air Force, Marines, and the Navy. For all of them who cannot be home to share Thanksgiving with their loved ones, because they are working very hard to keep and fighting for the freedom that we live in each and every day in the U.S. of A. So I will see you for the early and late game pregame show after I get home from my Thanksgiving. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.